I feel like we prepare. We prepare ourselves well enough. I could see like throughout the off season, I feel like there was a lot of guys that did a lot of work, and even in spring training, I feel like everybody was kind of dialed in into what they needed to do, and I feel like that's what it's all about: taking care of the things that you need to do to get better. And I feel like that's what we did as a team, and that's why we're in a good spot right now on opening day.
Hello, Mariner fans. We're back with another episode of Monday Mojo. It's episode 76, the episode before the storm. We start our regular season play this Thursday. We're probably going to launch this episode on opening day. If y'all have tickets, make sure to say what up to me, Max Schwabe. And I'm here with Chris Soba, our field reporter out of Walla
Max,
Walla.
you're not even going to be watching the game when you're there. What do you mean say hi to you? You're not even going to be watching the game. You're not even going with people who know what baseball are.
Dude, I'm going to be watching the game. Okay, can I just do the introductions? Okay.
We both know you're not going to be watching the game.
The asshole that just spoke out of turn is Chris Soba, our field reporter out of Walla Walla, Chris Weifel, and our very talented producer, Evan Barron. We have a lot to cover today. Ahead of the Guardians series for opening series. We hope you're stoked because we're stoked. We want to report on our experience down at spring training this past week. Saw a couple games down in Peoria, and we're going to recap kind of the winners and losers of the Mariners spring training season. Ended the spring training season at 14-13.
Who cares?
Well, I think a lot. Well, I don't know. I care. I'm big into numbers like that. And then we will give you our ever so anticipated 2023 regular season what do you
predictions?
Predictions, standing predictions, win predictions. So what do we want to start with? We want to start with how Arizona was, Phoenix, Peoria. We were staying in freaking Sun City retirement village haven for all the rich white board golfing people. What'd you think of it overall, Evan and Chris?
Accurate description. Yeah, very, very accurate description of where we were located. Don't do what I do, guys. If you go to a night game and you're from Seattle or you're from anywhere other than the desert, and when you travel to the desert, in your mind, mentally, you're preparing for heat. You're preparing for warmth, comfort. You don't pack jeans. You don't pack sweats. You got open-toed shoes. You go to a night game, and you're wearing those open-toed shoes. You're wearing those shorts, and you're wearing that Hawaiian shirt, chest hair flying out.
Yeah, looking like a douchebag.
I was feeling good, but damn. It got cold, and it got cold real quick. And then, capitalism, $80 sweatshirt bought by me from the team store. They got me good. And
did you end up getting a pen?
Oh my gosh, no. And when we were walking in, they gave away free what do you call those, Max? Free game manuals or whatever.
Brochure.
No, it was a scorebook. It was
programs.
No, they were giving away scorebooks.
Scorecards.
Free scorebooks. Yeah. And he was like, you want a scorebook? I was like, yeah, I'll take a scorebook. Do you have a pen? He goes, oh no, you got to go buy that in the gift shop. And then he goes,
goodness,
capitalism. Am I right? And me and Max was like, oh,
yeah.
And that was actually, it's funny because I just, to go off topic a little bit, but still on topic to what we're talking about a second ago here. I'm reading a book, and, just to give myself some credit, we're in the third month of the year. I'm on my third book. If you know Chris Soba, if you knew the kind of scholar I wasn't growing up, you would be shocked. You would call yourself surprised.
I did this kid's men's choir midterm exam.
He did in the middle of class. We
front row.
Front row. I had Max before he turned his paper, and I said, Max, you're switching papers with me. I'll turn yours in, you turn mine. Finish the test, and he did it. Anyways, I'm reading this book called Red Notice. It's all about capitalism, and for anybody looking to get into a new book, this guy, Bill Browder, he took down Russian oligarchs. It's a true story about a true story of high finance murder in one man's Fight for Justice. If you're looking for a read that. I read it in Arizona on the plane as well.
You finished Red Notice?
No, I'm almost done. Done. Yeah. But that's what I read on the way to Arizona, on the way from Arizona. And back to on topic. The second game was glorious. It was beautiful. And we were it's in the sunshine. It wasn't too hot. And oh man, first time ever at spring training, getting the cherry popped. It felt good. It did feel good. I'll say that.
Did you guys get any golf in?
Chris, Soba, and Evan got in a little too much golf, and then
3 rounds, baby. 3 rounds.
A notable shout out to some of our top listeners, Brian Blow and Jason. What's Jason's last name?
Jason Voigt.
Jason Voigt. Dude, those guys were the A1 company, you know. They kept up with our bullshit, and they kept up with your golfing bullshit, but they got plenty of golf in. Meanwhile, myself, Jason, and Brian, while Evan and Chris did their second 18-hole round, we hit the driving range. And on my note about just old, bored white men,
Max was kind of getting attacked by his lack of a good golf swing, and some guy was just trying to critique him.
No. I have a great swing. It's just I can't make good contact, and I'm working on it. We talked about
just to give you some insight. If somebody says you have the swing of a baseball player when you're golfing, that in no way, shape, or form is them saying that you have a good swing. That's actually them being very nice about telling you how poor of a golf swing you have.
Yeah, it's kind of like you suck right now, but I see some potential. Like you look like you can swing a club, but it's not this club. It's a baseball.
Great. I'll tell you, like, he not only did he say that, but he was like, let me guess you played baseball. And I was like, yep. And he goes, let me guess you were a pitcher. And I go,
damn. So then he was saying even your baseball swing looks bad. Okay. So damn, he was giving me no compliments.
Dude, and this guy was just laying into me. And I was like, sir, who are you? And the cojones on this man was just, his saggy cojones were a little bit too anyway, you could tell that he was lonely, and you know, we entertained him and had a conversation with him, but it got very uncomfortable, especially with Brian and Jason. But you know, when your elders come and speak with you, you listen, you hear them out, unless they're incredibly rude, which is what this guy was to me, but I was too exhausted to give a shit.
Max, can you get us on topic here? Can we go?
Yeah. Well, listen, the games were a lot of fun. We have to apologize in advance to our listeners. We had this whole plan about posting content, going around the stadium, interviewing fans. To be honest, we overdid it on the drinking. And you did. Well, we were just exhausted the whole time.
I wasn't.
Oh, well, then why didn't you get us all fired up to do this?
Because you were exhausted the whole time.
Okay, fine. Games were great. We played the Diamondbacks, and who did we see the first game?
Oh, Cal Raleigh's home run. Right when we got into the stadium, we sat down on the berm. We sit down, first thing we see is just Cal Raleigh take that 3-run ball.
Yeah.
To the right field berm. That was pimped on. We saw
what team did we play?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to, as I was talking, I was trying to remember. But wasn't Arizona.
That was the second game in Peoria.
Oh, Oakland. It was Oakland.
That's right.
It was Oakland A's.
We smacked around our little Bay Area brothers.
2 games in a row, the Seattle Mariners scored 15 or more runs. Not the first game it happened, we didn't go to, but the second game they scored 15. The game before it was like 17. And I know it's spring training.
Yeah.
To see that in back-to-back games of teams just putting up some thumpers, that's good to see. And it's a great way for us to round out the end of the start of the baseball season, but the end of the start that doesn't count. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with it being Tuesday, March 28th, with me speaking to you, and you'll be listening to this on Thursday, March 30th. There's 30 days in March. Am I right?
31.
Is that correct? 31. Okay. Anyways, that still will be accurate then. 30th, Thursday, March 30th. You guys, it's opening day. Fuck. It's been too long. It has been way too long. Max, we've talked about this. the seasonal kind of, depression you get in Seattle with the lack of sunshine, the lack of outdoor activities, and the ever so disgusting presence of consistent cloud and gray skies and a little bit of drizzle all the time. I had never had a problem with it. This year, for whatever reason, it got to me. It was annoying, didn't like it. And I don't know if I've been this excited for baseball to come back. It's something that I think mentally I've needed, but also just like spiritually, just to get outside and watch the most beautiful sport, the one that I love the most, and to see my favorite team play the game that I love the most, and to see my favorite team who's projected to be right now. We're in the power rankings, number 10 before a game's even been played.
I saw number 8, but yeah,
I saw 8. I saw 10.
I saw 8. Yeah.
Okay. And last year, Fox predicted us to win the AL West, and midway through the season in July, all of us were like, "Fuck you, Fox!" Like, no, you were like, everybody was just going batshit crazy. But you guys, this is a new day and age for us Seattle Mariners. This is the time for Jerry's plan to continue exceeding. I don't know if exceeding expectations is the right way to put it, but for it to just continue being built, but not from the ground. Like we're now like the corner pieces are here to the puzzle. Now let's fucking do it. Okay. We still have some room. I'm so pumped to see what's going to happen throughout this season. What's this trade deadline going to look like? Is it going to be anything more crazier than last year's was stupid. We hated it, but is this year going to be crazy? Who knows what's going to go on with Shohei Ohtani just around the league? Because when that trade deadline happens, we know he's not signing back with the Angels. I also want to pause. I want to pause real quick before I forget this. World Baseball Classic. Holy shit. That ending couldn't have been scripted any better. Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani goes to a 3-2 count, and on the slider, Shohei gets him. The matchup that baseball fans have never, ever been able to witness. We didn't know if we ever would be because they've been on the same team. But damn, that World Baseball Classic is what people needed. And it freaking delivered.
It didn't disappoint. Here's a stat that I wanted to share, and I might be rough around the numbers, but I know this. Mike Trout has had 6,000 plus professional at-bats. Only 30 of them, or roughly, I think it's even like 24. Only like not even 30 of them had he struck out all on 3 swinging strikes. And Shohei Ohtani gave him 3 strikes, all of which Trout whiffed at. And that's Shohei Ohtani literally bringing his A game against his Angels teammate.
I will say though, there was 2 pitches that were right down the middle. I know that they're at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
They're at 100. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a little different, but I mean, Trout was geared up for it. Obviously not enough so because he was behind it. But I mean, it's lower zone 100 right down the
down Broadway,
center of the plate. And I don't know. I think you give that pitch to Trout a number of times, he's going to do something with it. But that at bat seemed like it was either going to end in a strikeout or a home run. It was just like, how the hell is this thing going to end? So that was awesome. Hey, can we get back to the Mariners? I really want to talk Mariners.
I do too. It's just that I hate to not talk or not just to respect the World Baseball Classic just because like it's I don't like seeing Randy Rosarena in Mexico. Like Randy's performance in the World Baseball Classic was also top notch. And like, I don't know, I want to see these stars on the bigger stage more. And with the way that the schedule is being adjusted for the MLB, I'm just so excited to see these players more because we're going to be playing every single team at least once per year, right? That's for now on with the MLB scheduling. We play every team. And so the World Baseball Classic, it got me excited for that because now we're just going to be able to see these superstars against our team much more often and in person. And what a fun event. The World Baseball Classic is the best.
All right, let's talk Mariners. Weifel, give me some of your winners of spring training.
I mean, I think number 1 would probably be Jared Kelenic, and then 2 would be Cooper Hummel. Hummel is coming along. I mean, I was looking at, we just did our baseball draft, and Kyle Lewis is projected like 10 home runs this year and like They're
Wow.
projecting him for under 240 average, 10 home runs. Obviously, it's projections, but if we get, and he's a DH, like he's pretty much lost a lot of his utility in the
Wow.
field. So it's just like, we traded away a guy who was kind of going in the wrong direction, and we got this guy who, to me, this is probably a bad because I think it's a little too much to say he looks like a Mitch Haniger, but I mean a young Mitch that can play a bunch of different positions. Is he going to do that? Is he going to reach that? Who knows? But I mean, the guy, what he had 4 home runs. Every time he's up there, he's got that sweet stroke. Yeah, I mean, I think the guy's going to make the big splash here early on.
You remind me, you said Cooper Hummel, right?
Yeah, he did.
Hometown boy.
Lot,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Major league dream. He's kicking ass.
Yeah. I want to stress more on that, because when we had, Jake Lamb come back, and oh my gosh, who was the I'm blanking on his Souza Jr., Steven Souza Jr. Yeah, his tenure in Seattle didn't go well. Neither of theirs did, but both of them were hometown boys. I want the hometown boy who can be on our team and be a fucking superstar. I want that. And that's the dream, right? We've talked about Jake Lamb. Oh, he hit a home run for the Seattle Mariners late in the season. Like, that's got to be living the freaking dream. Like, sure. No. This Cooper Hummel's got the chance to be a superstar. Maybe not superstar, but hey, I'll take yours, Zweifel. If he could be a Mitch Haniger in Seattle, that's a hell of a career.
I think that's a little bit down the road, but I'm just seeing that kid,
for sure down the road.
He looks like that type of player. He's just like a gritty baseball player that has a lot of potential in his bat. So, and I'm also kind of just going off the assumption that Jerry saw something in this guy to go out and get him. And, as we always say, in Jerry we trust. And then the first spring training is with us. He's just raking. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to jump to conclusions here, but I mean, the guy looks pretty good.
And Jerry, we trust, man. Put it on my tombstone.
Go ahead, Max.
I was going to say one other winner that I wanted to add was George Kirby, especially his last outing against the Dodgers. 5 innings pitched, no runs given up, maybe 1 walk, but I think, what was it, 8 strikeouts, Chris?
9. He had 9 strikeouts in 5 innings against the Dodgers.
Against the
no
Dodgers.
hits. No hits. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. No hits.
Yeah.
5
no
innings.
hits.
Which, I mean, someone asked us at spring training, hey, are there, how's the Mariners rotation looking? And I've been saying this since day 1 of the offseason. Both starting pitching and bullpen. I think our bullpen is ranked like 5th in the league, maybe 6th. But I think our pitching is going to be our specialty, because we've got Robbie Ray, which,
that's my winner of spring training right there.
You think Robbie Ray's the winner of spring training? I guess
he's looked really good.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
No.
I pitched 17
right.
innings pitched. He
1.06
gave up no home
ERA.
runs.
Yeah.
Yep, and no home runs given up, which is PTSD of Yordan Alvarez. So I'm no home runs, thank you, but a 106 ERA, dude. And the game before his last, he had 26 strikeouts. 26 strikeouts in 17 innings, 2 runs given up, both earned. But that was it, dude. He had a hell of a spring training.
He did. I misspoke. I guess we saw Robbie Ray pitch against the Diamondbacks, and he wasn't necessarily on his game. But then again, the offense did not help him out. But that was also a split squad scenario. But Robbie Ray, Luis Castillo did quite well overall. Logan Gilbert did a great job. George Kirby did a great job.
Luis Castillo, I'm not worried about in the slightest, but he gave up some bombs here and there, and a couple heart. It looked like hopefully he was just bucking around and trying new things, but his swagger and his confidence never deterred. That was always sky high.
Here's another stat, right? I'm looking at the spring training overall stats from our pitchers. None of our starting pitchers gave up more than 1 home run in over, on an average, say, of like 15 innings pitched total. So that's promising. Paul Sewald is still, I don't know. It's hard to place where we see Paul Sewald going in the future.
Well, no, I
and
just
he's
it's not hard. It's not hard to place that. It's just more so with what you just ended with there. Is he going to be good or not? I think if Mariner fans, if you guys take a second and are real with yourselves about what we've seen from Paul Sewald, which the first year when he really came on our map and did really good things, let's be honest. Like there were some sliders in those fastballs that I was sometimes like, how did those not go into a fucking another area code? How did those not get tagged? And then this last year in the later end of the season started getting tagged a little bit more. Those hanging breaking balls and those 92, 94 mile per hour heaters started to get some power behind them when they got swung on. And I don't know. Maybe
one thought on that really quick. I think that and I'm not saying what you're seeing isn't right, because I feel the same way, but it is that late break that he has on those sweeping sliders that are coming across. Yeah, that it's either starting outside and finishing in the middle, or starting middle and finishing on the outside. And both those were like, oh my God, this is going right to this guy's barrel. But it's a little bit of that late break that just either has them swinging and missing, or not making that great contact that is scaring the hell out of us. But
yeah,
I did see that his expected K rate last year was down. So even with all that being said, he was expected to strike out more. And if you look at 2 years ago, where his Ks were way up, and his stuff was pretty much the same, you could compare that back and say, well, yeah, if you're comparing last year's stats to the year before, he was down in Ks, and they said his expected Ks should be up. So, it's one of those things where I'm just going to trust the analytics. If he's in the 8th inning, or if, obviously how Service does it, it's just pretty much the hot hand and who he wants to go with. But if they're throwing him out there, it's good enough for them. It's good enough for me.
Yeah. I want to add one more thing here. So we, another winner here, and this goes without saying, arguably, but Julio Rodriguez, 13 games played in spring training. Obviously, he spent a lot of time the World Baseball Classic. I wish he could have spent more time there.
I don't
care. Yeah, no, I'm okay with him not, because the scariest of situations that we all, don't even want to talk about happened to the New York Mets and Edwin Diaz in a celebration. After Puerto Rico beats the Dominican Republic in a celebration, Edwin Diaz, his season is over. That is terrible. Remember Drew Smiley when we signed Drew Smiley in 2017, the last World Baseball Classic. Drew Smiley goes and pitches for America. Dude never threw a pitch for us. Never threw on the Mariners uniform. And so, hold on, before I end it, I don't want anybody thinking that I'm saying Drew Smiley was our superstar. I'm just saying that was an example, not comparing the skill set.
Well, I really wanted Julio to be at the World Baseball Classic longer, because I just wanted to see their lineup break. Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't the U.S., then it was the Dominican Republic that everyone was watching and salivating over in terms of talent. Which is a bummer. But anyway, getting back to it, in the 36 games, Julio Rodriguez had 36 at bats. Julio Rodriguez had 16 hits, and Jared Kelenic led the team this spring with 18 hits and 51 at bats. But Julio was efficient, drove in 8 RBIs compared to the league leading 10, or the team leading 10. Also Jared Kelenic and Teoscar Hernandez. But Julio was efficient and looked in top form. And I couldn't be more excited for him to lead the team in many things this coming season.
Do you think his average is going to, everyone's average is going to tick up, but I mean, I kind of think that he could be a sneaky good average hitter. A lot of people are thinking of him as, and so do I, but as just a power hitter. But think about his exit velocity, and then also thinking about his running speed. He also uses every part of the field. So they're playing him straight up, obviously, as they have to. But those ground balls that he crushed last year that were right in the shift, anything that's on the left side of the infield that he can beat out, that's in the hole, that's going to be a tricky play with that speed. And then also just, the natural progression of him becoming a better hitter. Yes. I think everyone has kind of pegged him as more of a 270 hitter. I actually think Julio can be up close to 290s this year. I think he could break out in the average department. And I just think he's going to be, everything and more that we've been expecting. So
I don't think that I couldn't agree more with almost everything there, except for the point of people thinking he's only a power hitter. I don't think that's the case at all. I think everybody knows that he is a singles, a doubles, a homer, a triples hitter. He's everything. And he's got the wheels, he's got the speed. And in the World Baseball Classic, I don't even think he hit a home run, but his first at bat for the Dominican Republic, I think he swung on the first pitch, and it was a grounder right through the left side of the infield. And I don't think the shift was on, but in the World Baseball Classic, the shift was still being played because the rules are different.
Yeah.
And so I think it's, every baseball fan in the world knows that Julio Rodriguez isn't only, they know he can hit it an absolute mile, but they also know that he ropes singles and he ropes doubles, and he's going to stretch a single into a double and a double into a triple.
He does, but I think when I look at most people's projections of him, when I look at a lot of projections, obviously, it's always him around 270, but then you see the big home run numbers, and it's like, listen, I think I think people know that he uses all parts of the field and that he hits a lot of line drives, but it's like they're projecting him to strike out a lot more. I think this guy is going to be on base a lot for us. I don't think he's a strikeout or home run or double guy. I think he's an on base guy. He's a singles guy. He'll get a triple there. So really excited about Julio. What if we played a game though? I like this guy.
Games. I like games.
We could title it, I like this guy. No, wait. We all like this guy, but I like him better. So pick a guy.
Okay.
We all like this guy. We all like this guy, but I like him better. Who's your guy this year?
Who's yours? You got to have a guy.
Yeah, you got to go first.
Yeah.
Mine's George Kirby. I think he's an AL Cy Young contender. I really do. I think we can.
Do you think he's an AL Cy Young contender?
We've seen it with a lot of pitchers as they come up, they get their foot established in the league in that rookie year. And everyone's thinking like, oh, yeah, he's a good pitcher. Let's call him a 3. He's a 3. It's like some guys, they get their foot established and then they go right to the top. I think Kirby's command and then with his velocity. I mean, you don't see a guy with that good of command, that good of velocity. And now he's got 6 pitches. I mean, if he's really working and he's learning from all the guys in front of him, I think he could be, like I said, an AL Cy Young contender. It's a sleeper pick, but an AL Cy Young contender.
Yeah. Okay. I want to say on the pitching side, us pitchers have to stick together. I'm going to have to go with Logan Gilbert. Gilby was incredibly efficient last season. I think he's only going to be much better this season. He had a great outing this spring. I think he was trying some new stuff, but I think he's going to come back consistent. And I think if anyone has an AL side, I mean, the man, I forget what he was doing at this time, last year, but incredibly ERA is what I do remember. And, he went deep into games. I think he's going to improve that. And I think he's more of a Cy Young contender than Sam Haggerty. Or I'm sorry, not Sam Haggerty, George Kirby. On the batting side of things, it was between Sam Haggerty and Teoscar Hernandez. What I like about Teoscar, I think he's going to be a more efficient and
better Mitch Haniger.
Yeah, better Mitch Haniger. And more defensively talented than Mitch Haniger. But he's going to see a lot of strikeouts. But I think he's going to fill in his role in the
better at defense.
Hold on, this is funny. We got rid of Mitch Haniger, and now we have 2 Mitch Hanigers. Cooper Hummel and
Teoscar Hernandez. Yeah, dude. I think he's much better defensively than Mitch Haniger. I thought he was he wasn't bad, but he was very average. And you can shake your head all you want, Soba, but Teoscar is faster, and I think he has a better arm. Okay. Now the other one is Sam Haggerty. We were all surprised by Sam last season. He was hitting the ball like crazy. He was super, super quick. And he's an incredible utility player. But I like Sam Haggerty more than you guys because I think if Scott Service, I'm hoping he comes to his senses and puts him in more, gives him more playing time. If so, I don't think we'll regret it.
I love how you tied it back into the title, but I like Sam Haggerty more than you guys. Love it.
Yes, exactly.
Chris Bobasoba.
Yeah, see,
Boba
this is
Tea
the
Soba.
problem about having ADD is I had something to comment on Max's answer.
Teoscar?
Oh yeah, thank you. You
Go ahead, ridicule me like you usually do every week.
I just think you're underestimating Mitch Haniger's defensive ability. Like Teoscar's probably still good, but like, let's be honest, Max. You and I both aren't positive on his outfield capabilities because we simply haven't seen it all that often. We can look at the numbers. We saw Mitch Haniger play. You're telling me that guy's arm was average? That guy's had a cannon, and two, the accuracy on that cannon was almost second to none.
That was the only thing he had defensively.
No, he has a really good glove.
He didn't have spatial awareness, and
yes,
he didn't.
He couldn't get to anything, man. He was a liability out there. Besides his arm, he was a liability.
Yes.
I think we could call Jesse Winker a liability. I don't think Mitch Haniger would ever be considered a liability.
You're going to compare him to one of the worst defenders in the league. Yeah,
I'm going to consider him to a true liability. Mitch Haniger, that's a true liability.
Right. He wasn't a liability. Jesse Winker was a liability.
Yes.
Got you.
Anyways, the guy that I like more than you guys, it might still be Ty France. Viva Ty. And I just think, man, the guy's going to stay healthy this year, and he's going to get rest opportunities with the amount of different guys we saw Sam Haggerty in spring training playing first base. That's a sight that I hadn't seen before. That was kind of funny. It was funny looking, but where I'm going with this is we've got different guys that can play different positions throughout the field, and he's going to get a little bit more rest, and hopefully that baseball doesn't find his wrist this year. There were a couple times in spring training, Ty France, I think on a wild pitch, was taking second base, and they threw the ball. This was like a couple weeks ago, I think. And the catcher threw the ball to the second baseman, and Ty is diving in. And the second baseman, it misses his glove, and it misses Ty's wrist by like a millimeter. It was so close. And in my head, I'm watching this. I'm like, don't hit his wrist. Like I could just see the worst thing happening like right in front of me, but it didn't. And then later, like a week later, he got hit in the wrist. I'm like, mother trucker, stop. Like, why already? But if he can avoid those situations and stay healthy and not have to work his way back into, rhythm that he's had to do these last 2 seasons, I think he's going to put up phenomenal numbers, and he's going to still be a stellar first baseman. Maybe not Gold Glove, but stellar.
Well, keep in mind too, Ty France, God, what was it? He had 15 hits in the spring. Like he, that's third on the
Ty
team.
rakes. It's what he does.
Ty rakes. Yeah. I mean, I've always continued to trust in him, but to your point, yeah, I guess you do like him more than I do.
Yeah.
But I mean, he has to avoid that. The thing is his stance and how
it's his setup, it's his approach, it's everything. He's on the plate. He's on
top of the plate. Yeah. And I mean, he's going to get hit. We've seen it every year. He leads the league in hit by pitches, or he might not, but it's up there.
I think he did. I think he did. Yeah.
And if one of those and you know how pitchers like to pitch nowadays, it's high and it's in tight and it's on your hands. So I obviously crossing my fingers and knocking on wood, but I mean, I'm not 100% sure that it's even possible that he makes it through a season without injuring, a wrist or a hand or something in there. We already saw it with Jose Altuve. I mean, he's going to be gone for a while because he took a pitch off the thumb. So
we'll be seeing you, Jose.
Poor guy.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. Oh,
I know, but I don't want that to happen to our guy. You know what I mean?
No, of course not. No, why would we ever want that? I just want to do a quick check-in on our boys, Jesse Winker and Abraham Toro. This spring, they both had 5 hits and at least 25 at-bats. So the same old mediocre pieces of like hitting wiffle ball bats up there, So we're not missing anything there, at least seemingly. So we'll see how the season plays out for them. But yeah, glad we've moved on to bigger and better.
What do you guys think about Colton Wong?
Colton Wong. Oh, we'll get on him in a second. But my loser of spring training.
Yeah.
I don't know if we said we're going to do these, but Cole Calhoun. He's off the squad.
Oh, yeah.
So the Mariner wrecker couldn't wreck
Loser.
while he was on the Mariners, and so he got cut. What was it? Cut it out. Remember that Full House? Who was it? Uncle Joey.
Cut
Cut
it out.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Well,
Cut him out.
I thought Cole Calhoun did all right.
Apparently not.
Well, he didn't hit any home runs, but
it's a guy like Cooper Hummel. Cooper Hummel's going to be taking that job. You want to give at bats to him. So
Cooper Hummel is also listed as a catcher.
Yeah, he can do that.
Yeah, if it's between Cole Calhoun and Cooper Hummel, like we're gonna go with the younger, talented guy with more potential anyway. So,
and one more guy I love more than you guys, Tom Murphy. I think Tom Murphy's gonna come back, and I think Tom Murphy that guy got stronger somehow.
You guys got 2 players? I only got 1.
But what are the rules? We don't know.
There are no rules.
There are no rules. The only rule is there are no rules.
I want another player.
Go for it.
Penn Murphy.
Ooh, I like Penn Murphy.
I like Penn Murphy a lot.
Another guy that I'm higher on than you guys. Gino Suarez. No, you guys love Gino. So do I.
I love Gino. You don't love Gino.
Yeah, my take.
Yes.
Okay. My player that I'm excited about this year is Andres Munoz. I think that, the guy is, I think, one of the few relievers in baseball that can throw over 100 miles per hour, which is great. And I've seen some spring training videos too, where he's talking about he wants to be the closer. Like that's his goal, is he wants to be the closer. And it kind of reminds me of Edwin Diaz coming into the scene when he was with the Mariners, when he was a young guy. He's still struggling to find his command and whatnot, but I think Munoz, this will be his second full season with the Mariners. And to be honest, I feel more comfortable with him closing the game than Paul Sewald. And I just feel like the Mariners don't really have a solidified closer yet. But and I think Munoz is coming off of some surgery too, so I think he is finally healthy, which is good. And I mean, man, like when you have 100-mile-per-hour fastball and then you have that slider that's, I think, mid-80s, like it's going to keep hitters guessing all the time. And so, I think that's my guy that I'm looking forward to the most.
And I think to wrap this up, here's someone that I think was a loser of spring training, and I hate to say it, I truly do, but Matt Brash, 8.4 ERA, five innings of work. He gave up 5 earned runs, 6 of them, 6 total, and 9 hits. I don't know what went wrong with Matt, but that's kind of concerning. We were very hyped on him last season.
I don't know. Is it concerning?
And one thing on Andres Munoz, why is it that we only saw 3 innings of work from him this spring?
Because surgery.
Surgery.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys know Andres Munoz has added a 2-seamer.
Yeah,
he's added a 2-seamer.
Yeah, he's added a 2-seamer this spring. It's giving the hitters one more thing to think about. And the reviews thus far, 100-mile-per-hour moving 2-seamer. Good luck. Eugenio Suarez shouted in the clubhouse after Munoz's first Cactus League outing. Another quote from Logan Gilbert here. I wish I could add that to my repertoire. It's crazy. He was unhittable last year. With that kind of movement now, it's crazy. And Munoz himself, he's still not quite comfortable with the command of the pitch. He'll take it into the season. It's going to be interesting to watch for sure how he uses it, with that with the slider and the fastball. But that 2-seamer, it's just another thing to think about, like with the heat that's coming in. You don't want to be in that box.
Everything he had was breaking glove side. So if you can add a pitch that goes the opposite way, even if he doesn't have full command of it, like you're talking about. And that's what the Mariners organization has been trying to do with pitchers in the past, like Robbie Ray. They give him a 2-seamer. They just
George Kirby.
He
implemented a 2-seamer last year. Yeah, it's crazy.
He's got the 6-pitch repertoire now. So they just want they want your ball to be able to do different things. It can break arm side, can break glove side. Can you slow it down? Can you speed it up? Work top of the zone, work bottom of the zone, east west. So that's huge for Munoz, and I think that's a great pick by Evan.
That's a phenomenal pick.
I would agree. And here's a thought that just popped into my head. Andres Munoz is the new Mariano Rivera.
Okay.
Is that where you're getting from your pitcher analysis, Max?
Yeah, no, us pitchers really got to hype each other up. And
the guy who threw one pitch.
I said this last year. I said that last year. You called me crazy.
I like the idea of Andres becoming the new closer. Paul Sewald has been doing great. I still think he's a phenomenal reliever, but he has his areas of, he definitely struggles. But I mean, modern times.
I've been under the impression that Munoz was our closer. I did not think Paul Sewald had that job.
Well, I think last year was one of those years where we did switch off Andres and Paul Sewald. Paul saw more of the ninth inning outings, but I think with modern times,
I don't think that's
hold
true.
on, Chris, please stop interrupting. That's been
Rude.
A comment from the dugout, now I forgot what I was going to say. You freaking idiot.
Yes.
You idiot. Oh, with modern times, you got to be pumping gas with your closers. Closers pump gas. Paul Sewald doesn't pump gas.
No.
All right, boys. Last little segment here. It's time. It's time to give our win predictions for the season. Allow me to go first. Now, look, ladies and gentlemen, Mariners fans that are listening around the freaking planet. All right. Here's the reality I see. Okay. Houston continues to be number one in the power rankings. My prediction is that we will make the wild card. I think we will have that first wild card spot. And with the help of a well above average pitching rotation and bullpen, and now, more than a handful of consistent hitters, I think we're looking at 93 wins and 69 losses this season. Oh, is that yours?
93 and 69. That's the exact thing I had. However, I don't know if we're not going to win the AL West.
You think we have a shot at it?
I sure do. At 93 and 69, that's going to be tough. And I think that's the record we're going to end with. But I also think that that's going to be enough, because I think we are going to battle the Astros much more closely this year than we ever have in years past. And I think that the game splits are going to be a lot less, and we're going to give them more L's, and we're going to earn more W's from them than we have in years past. That's going to help with their overall record. Hey, Max, what you said a second ago, no interrupting. Anyways, damn it. Oh, shoot. ADD.
Well, allow me to take over for you. I still am very anxious about playing the Astros. I still think that, although I think overall we've improved our overall squad over the offseason, I still think that we're going to be kind of tossed around like little brother, big brother scenario. It makes me incredibly uncomfortable to play Houston, especially in Houston. Yordan Alvarez is going to continue to rake. Jose Altuve can't not be good.
Well, when he's not playing,
he's out for the first few months.
Like 6 to 8 weeks.
They still have so much depth. So I don't know. It causes me, it brings me no joy, the Astros overall, but we hate the Astros.
Man, if you play scared, you're gonna be scared.
I ain't playing.
You want to play the best. You want the best of the best, because I'm not scared of them. I think that, after that series last year in the playoffs.
Oh, the one where they swept us?
I believe it was Lance McCullers.
The one that they swept us in. That's right.
Shut your mouth. I believe it was Lance McCullers who said after the series, Lance McCullers' words, and I'm paraphrasing here, open quote, I think whoever won this series is going to win the World Series, end quote. Well, lo and behold, Houston Astros won the World Series. I also agree full-heartedly that the way we played towards the end of that season, dude, wholeheartedly and full-heartedly, glass is half full.
No.
I full-heartedly believe we're going to give these mother truckers a run for their money, and we're going to come out, Mike Tyson with their ears in our mouths, and we're going to be spitting that blood all over the floor. Spinal.
That's outstanding. Hey, Zweifel.
That was good.
What's your prediction,
bud? So kind of the thing that I've been thinking about is that you see these teams take jumps, and it's hard to predict it before the year. We always want to revert back to what's happened in the past. The Astros been kicking our ass, so they'll probably kick our ass again.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be a changing of the guard. As my phone rings. There's got to be a changing of the guard. And I believe this is where the torch is passed. We have the starting pitching. I think we have a top 3 to 5 rotation in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I think you add in our bullpen, our whole staff collectively is, in my opinion, the best in baseball. Look what we did, and look what we're doing with our lineup. We add Teoscar Hernandez, Gino Suarez coming back. Obviously, we're going to have Julio and those big names there with Ty France. This team is Cal Raleigh. This team is rounding into form to be a complete team. And after what happened last year with us as a team coming together, I think this is the year we win the AL West with 97 wins. And I think the Astros take a little step back. I think we're going to add someone at the deadline because we're going to be in it. And this team that we see right now is only going to get better.
Yeah.
We're going to add something at the deadline. And I think Jerry will be aggressive. So give me 97.
Make that
You got breaking news? Do you got breaking news?
I don't know why people are calling me.
Well, I don't know why either.
Make that a clip, Evan. That goes on our Instagram right there. It's
Clip it.
Yeah.
Clip that shit.
So anyways, I got us winning 97 games this year, and I think we're a legitimate World Series contender because you get into the dance in MLB, you have good pitching, you have a good bullpen, you are a World Series contender, and that's what the Mariners are.
Evan, give us your prediction.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of going to keep it in the same ballpark. I had 96. But yeah, I mean, you guys pretty much summarized it up about like, I just feel like, we didn't make the moves in free agency that maybe some Mariner fans wanted, but I just feel like we upgraded from last year's team. I just feel like Teoscar Hernandez is an upgrade from Mitch Haniger. I feel like Colin Wan's an upgrade from Adam Frazier. And then it's just, we have such young core players that, this will be Julio's, second full season in the big leagues. It'll be Matt Brash's second full season. We might get to call up Emerson Hancock. I just think we're really going to start to finally see this core that came in together, like Jerry was talking about in our previous interview, and really start to just grow as a unit. And I just think we can do that. I think us getting swept by the Astros last year through a tight series, I think it's going to light a fire under them to want to, say like, hey, this is our time now to take the AL West. We're sick of getting, kicked to the curb and whatnot. So I think that can work. We just got to stay healthy. That's the only thing I feel like that's kind of tagged us the last few years is we've run into some injuries that have set us back. But if we can stay healthy, this team can easily win over 95 games. I think 96 is where like I said, was I'm going for. But yeah, I think this is where we take a step forward, boys. And so that's what I was going for.
I love how you brought in, the Astros thing is kind of going to light a fire. I'm looking at it just identically to Russell Wilson's first rookie year and against Atlanta Falcons. We lose the game. And that guy wasn't like, this is when Russell Wilson, when we loved him so much because it was just the passion behind football and not the extracurriculars that he now is so endeavored in. But he was just he's talking with the press conference. He's telling the players, he's like, guys, like, I'm so fucking excited right now for next year because we have something here. This is legit. This is no, once in a blue moon type deal. This is something real that we got to have. It's consistent. And that's what we got here with the Seattle Mariners. With our getting swept in such dramatic and painful, heart-wrenching fashion against the Astros, that fire is going to turn into a forest fire. Watch out. We're turning into California over here in the Pacific Northwest. Everything's going to be burning down. Probably a bad analogy. But I think it's a great thing. And I think that Zweifel World Series contenders is not a stretch.
Yeah, 100%. I think that this is the year. We're done being a doormat. We always talk about pitching is key. And we got a guy who is in the 5th spot in our rotation that I'm saying could be an AL Cy Young contender. Max is like, no, my guy's an AL Cy Young contender. Well, that's 2 guys on the same team. And you know who we haven't talked about? the first two guys in this rotation, Luis
Yep.
Castillo
Yep.
and Robbie Ray.
Right.
And then don't forget about Marco, sneaky Cy Young contender. No, joking.
Oh,
there.
come on.
But hey, I actually do think Marco is incredibly boring and incredibly average. He's not a fifth pitcher in this league. He's an average pitcher in this league.
That's right.
He is a pitcher.
Reasons, little things to be grateful for. Chris, please, as Chris said in the group chat here, the Mariners are going to be Mr. Unlimited in the MLB. Okay, cut that shit out.
I did not say that at all.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
That was Zweifel. He's under Chris Hilba. Anyway, you're here to hear first, folks. Thanks for listening. We are about to enter into uncharted territory in this 2023 season. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment your thoughts. We love hearing from you guys. Please do that. Love your feedback to make this podcast better, especially this season when we're definitely going places. As the boys have mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, let's light this fire and let's revisit October. Brian Blow, if you're listening, go Huskies. And to everyone that's listening, go Mariners.